It's another edition of Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. I'm Joe Reed. Leslie Fine is the pilot this week, and where are you flying us today?
Hi, Joe. Today we're going to be looking at a little bit of nonfiction. We have a title. It's kind of an extensive one here. It's called Life in Three Dimensions: How Curiosity, Exploration, and Experience Make a Fuller, Better Life.
And who's it by?
This is by Shigehiro Oishi, and it's read by Brian Nishii.
Aha. Now, I'm a big Brian Nishii fan, and, we talked about this book with Laura Rossi, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I think. This was the book she was listening to, and she loved it. So tell me what you thought.
Yes, it's an earphones winner. It's such an interesting book. I found this to be the perfect book. For me personally, I liked to dip into it a little bit at a time, like listen to a section and then, you know, turn it off, put it aside, and just sort of let it soak in to
Hmm.
my mind. I mean, the title offers a lot of information talking about making a fuller, better life, the idea of curiosity, exploration, experience. So I found taking bits of this and just letting his voice, he has such a lovely voice,
Oh,
letting,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
Just letting it, almost kind of meditating on what he has to say about happiness and developing that fulfilling life. I found it to be a perfect title for that. So I could put it on and go out into the garden and listen to a section and then look forward to listening to the next section the next day when I went outside. So it packs a lot of content into, it's only like 7.5 hours long. It packs a lot of information into it, but it it's really great information and you can take from it what you will at any given time.
Okay, so to reference yesterday's conversation, how is this different really from Be the You, Not Even You Will Recognize? I mean, in terms of self-help books.
Ah. Oh my gosh, that's great. That's an excellent question. To me, I feel like it's the title that was mentioned in yesterday's book is kind of bossy. It's like be the you that you some everybody else wants you to be and nobody. It's less like that and more here, take this suggestion and think about it for a minute. It's much more gentle to me than something where it's like,
Oh.
all right, these are the 10 steps to change who you are.
So it's almost
Y-
like an offering.
yes, I think offering is a good way to put it. I think that, you have this lovely words, and I'm a big fan of stories, no matter what I'm reading, fiction or
Yeah,
nonfiction.
me too.
So we have these anecdotes, and they're beautifully presented with this beautiful voice, and you can kind of, there's a distinct pause in between each section, so you can sort of stop and take it all in and maybe collect what you like and maybe set aside the things that you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I get that, but that doesn't speak to me as much as, this part does. So I really do feel like it's more encouraging than bossing you around.
Prescriptive. Yeah. And Nishi has the perfect voice for that. I think Brian Nishii is actually really undersung because he's at home in fantasy as well as nonfiction. I mean, he just has a voice that draws me in.
Yes. Oh, I completely agree. And it's perfect for this title. Just that the timing is, or the pacing, I should say, is so, steady. And I keep using the word encouraging, but that's really what I think of when I think of this book. It's just very positive. So, if you're looking for something, just a little pick me up to say, like, all right, I want to took some inventory and I want to make a few little changes. I think there might be some little changes in here. At the very least, like raising awareness about your own already existing strengths and happy points in your life. It's one of those kinds of books.
Well, why don't we hear a little bit? Do you need to set this up or will it be clear?
The excerpt that we're hearing, to me, gives a great example of how those stories, those little anecdotes, enhance the research. So we have stories and then we have like actual research, offering up that background.
This is Life in Three Dimensions by Shigehiro Oishi, and it's read by Brian Nishii.
In June 1993, after graduation, I left Japan for good. Next were stops of varying lengths in New York City, Champaign, Illinois, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Charlottesville, Virginia, before moving onward to Chicago. Along the way, I married the Korean woman I met on Staten Island, and we had 2 children born in 2 different cities. I have not seen any of my elementary school friends in years. 3 decades after leaving my hometown, as I get older and try to maintain what remains of our family connection, I often find myself wondering how my life could have diverged from my father's to such an extraordinary extent. I wonder why he didn't move away when he had the chance, and why, in contrast, I have moved so many times.
I think Brian's tone just makes the book so approachable, right? I mean, it's not at all pedantic, and I understand some of that is the writing, but it's like squared or cubed in Brian's voice of just opening this up.
I completely agree, and I think that's a great way to describe it. I think that they make for a great team, this
Yeah.
author's words and the way the information is delivered. It's really, easy to absorb, and I think even people who might shy away from this kind of book, I bet they'd still be able to take something away from it, something positive.
Okay, that is Life in Three Dimensions: How Curiosity, Exploration, and Experience Make a Fuller, Better Life by Shigehiro Oishi. And it's read by Brian Nishii, and it's an Earphones winner.
It is.
I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thank you, Joe.
Support for today's episode comes from Night Watcher, a psychological thriller read by Will Collier and Helen Laser, with an exclusive author's note from Daphne Woolsencroft.
Don't forget to stop by audiofilemagazine.com, where you can find hundreds of reviews, as well as interviews and articles about authors and narrators, and videos of some of your favorite narrators discussing the books they perform. That's audiofilemagazine.com. I'm Joe Reed. I'll talk to you tomorrow.